Yeah, I sound like the Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, wah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time to do it and for looking so awesome as Harley Quinn.
Thank you.
So how did you get started in cosplay? Like, what kicked it all off?
Honestly, it was the fact that I was going to my first con ever, and I was very nervous, and I feel like I'm more of a extrovert when I get into costume or when I dress up for Halloween and stuff. And so my friend, he was like, do you know what? Can you make me like a Beast Boy costume and you can be Raven and we can just go and be like in disguise? And I mean, like, it's cosplay, but we just called it disguise. And yeah, honestly, like, I was actually just looking at like my first pictures ever, and I was just like, this was all made the night before the con, and we looked atrocious, but we had the most fun in the world. And it just, that kickstarted my passion and love, and that was like in 2000 and I believe 15. And yeah, ever since then I was like, I really love it. And people actually took our pictures, and like being in cosplay,
it couldn't have been that atrocious if people were taking pictures.
See, that's the thing I love about cosplay. It's like you're in the car and you're like, I look horrible. I feel horrible. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. This didn't come out right. But then when you get out the car, you're walking through the parking lot, and a little kid runs up to you and is like, Raven! And I'm just like, oh, they know who I am. I didn't do that bad.
Right. That's a good test if a little kid can recognize you.
Exactly.
Well, I admire that. I think it's funny that you chose cosplay as a way to be more comfortable at the con, because I think cosplaying at cons takes like extra courage to do, because you're kind of inviting the attention.
That's true. I never thought of it that way, actually.
But that's great. Yeah. That's why I love cosplay so much. I way back when cosplay wasn't quite as common as it is now. I mean, every time I saw a stormtrooper or a Darth Vader or something, I would just lose it because it was so cool and not that many people were doing it. So hats off to you that that is an interesting way on for the first time.
Yes.
Now, does your friend still cosplay with you?
He actually doesn't. He moved away, so we're not like that close anymore, but we still reminisce on like our first couple cons that we went to, and he actually still has the Beast Boy costume I made him. And I used duct tape and prayers and safety pins, and he actually still wears it for Halloween occasionally. So that just brings me so much joy when I see him post about it, and I'm just like, oh, yay, memories.
Duct tape is serious, yo.
Honestly, yes.
So what was your progression then after that? So you went to the con, you loved it, and then like what made you keep going, and how has your process changed? Goodness, in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like my sewing skills are kind of a little bit on the same level as how I started. I'm working on that. But my prop making game, like as you can see from the back, most of the props I've made, I've definitely come a long way. And that's something that I feel like I found the most interest in cosplay is like in making weapons and making shields and making props that I can carry. And that's something that I feel has grown since my start, because the first cosplays I made sure I chose things that didn't require extra things to carry, because I was so worried on trying to make the outfit itself. And when my sewing skills weren't the best, I would beat myself up about it. And I'm like, I'm going to stop cosplaying. I'm going to quit. I'm done. I can't do it. But then I found other things that I can attribute skills to. And I worked with foam for the first time. And then I worked with Warbler and made like my first like spear. And I was like, I don't have to sew to be a good cosplayer. I can add other skills. And I don't know, that progressed, and I've grown so much in like making props, and just bigger the better.
Did you watch YouTube videos to teach yourself,
No.
or was it trial? Oh, okay.
I'm all self-taught. Like, I just trialed and errored mostly. I tried very hard to watch YouTube videos and to follow tutorials, but I always felt discouraged because sometimes I wouldn't have some of the tools they had, or I wouldn't have some of the materials they had. And then I would go and look, and I'm like, oh, that's so expensive, or oh, I don't know how to use that yet, or oh, this. And then it made me not cosplay for like a month or so. And I'm just like, I shouldn't let that stop me. So I just went into it, just dove into it, and kind of made do with making my own stuff and just DIY things. And I would use unconventional items, and it turned out perfect. So
I absolutely love that attitude that you weren't letting that hold you back, because a lot of people in business, in cosplay, in lots of ways, let small things hold them back. Like, I don't have the right tools, so I can't do it. Exactly. So I love that you just were like, I'm doing it no matter what. And I also think cosplayers, one of the great things about it, cosplayers, is that you do make do with what you have, and you find these creative, out-of-the-box ways of solving your problems. So if you don't sew a lot, do you buy a lot of your costume pieces?
I've gotten into buying. This has been such a huge controversial thing among most of my friends in cosplay sometimes. It's like, either you're a great cosplayer because you can buy the best, most expensive, or you're a great cosplayer because you can like make the most elaborate things. And I feel that to be a good cosplayer is just to be in character. Just live through that character. Like, if you bought it, just be the best, bought version, whatever. If you made it, be the best made version. Like, just just enjoy what you're wearing. And I mostly buy a lot of my dresses because I can't sew a dress to save my life, and I admit that. And I'm just like, I'm okay with that.
Why should you let that stop you, right? That shouldn't stop you. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, sure, there are two routes, and you can certainly give respect to the people who make their own costumes, because that is a talent in itself.
Skills.
There's no reason that someone who buys costume and makes props should be like, you ain't no real cosplayer.
Exactly.
I mean, who's showing up in the costume? That's what counts.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So do you have a makeup process too? Like, has that evolved over time?
That has definitely evolved. It's gotten to the point where I can do, like, this makeup I did took under 5 minutes.
What?
Like, yeah, it was 5 minutes. Like, this heart, I've gotten to the point I could just do it just by memory. I've gotten honestly, I do cosplay makeup better than I can do my real makeup. Sometimes I just showed up to work in just my cosplay makeup because it's just easier.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I love cosplay makeup because it's just, you're not really doing like your own thing. Technically, you're kind of mimicking a character, so you have a better guideline to follow. And I'm creative in making eyeshadow looks and stuff, but it's just, when you put on a cosplay makeup face, I don't know, it's just something that just feels just so like complete. It's just, yeah.
Well, is there a brand of makeup that you like better than others, or do you just like grab what you want?
Honestly, I used to be die-hard like high-end makeup, like Sephora, MAC stuff. ColourPop. Highly recommend ColourPop. Please check out ColourPop. ColourPop is life. It's so reasonably priced. It's a cosplayer's best friend because they have so many different colors. They have so many different palettes. They have so many different, like, just styles. Like the liquid lips, the glosses, everything you can utilize. And also, I tend to use Mayron makeup, like face paint from Amazon. I love using face paint for regular makeup sometimes because it just lasts better.
Interesting. Yeah. You do some kind of primer or prep before you use it?
I usually don't. Yeah. If I'm going like outside and it's like a hot day or something, I'll usually spray like a finishing spray, like it's the Mayron barrier spray. That's on Amazon as well. And that seals it for a good 16 hours. I've gone to work in full Gamora green makeup face paint. Nothing came off. Yeah.
So when you did this Gamora full makeup, did you also do full body green makeup?
No,
No, okay.
I can't. I'm like, the last time I did a full body makeup, I think was for my Steven Universe Amethyst cosplay. And I wore that, of course, to the hottest con, Anime Expo. And it was a disaster. There was just like makeup like everywhere, and it was just like melting off of me. It just wasn't the best choice. And I thought I sealed it properly, but yeah, the heat, it had other ideas in mind. So
So what did you do instead of the green body makeup? Like, do you get
I do a green suit.
Leotard?
Yeah. The green suit. Yeah. On Amazon, I usually buy tights, or they have bodysuits, but sometimes they're sold out. So I usually buy like just regular like tights that you wear, and I'll usually sew to like be my, match my hands, so that way it's like their arm socks, pretty much. That's what they're yeah. And that works perfectly.
Oh, nice. They don't slip and slide all over.
No, because you're technically like, instead of putting the tights on like, like your like pants, you take it, cut a hole in the top, and you just sew around it so that way it doesn't unravel. And then you just put your arms through, and then yay, you're good. It only covers up to your chest area, but you're wearing clothes, so it works out.
Cool. Do you coordinate cosplays with anyone else now that your friend moved away?
Yes, I've actually done a handful of cosplays like together. One of like my best friends, Ahime, lovely. I love her. She's like my sister. We've actually done Elsa and Anna together. We're working on a couple of other cosplays together. Another one of my great, awesome friends is Alexis, and me and her, we've done Gambit and Rogue together, and we've done Donald and Sora from Kingdom Hearts together, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'm actually in 3 other cosplay groups coming up. Hopefully they're not canceled.
Yeah, really.
It's like, but it's just, the cosplay world has been very accepting, and I've been branching into multiple groups, and having plans is amazing because it makes cosplay like decisions easier. It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this character. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I'll do that character. Yay.
What are the 3 cons coming up that you're planning to go to?
I have the LACC, the Los Angeles convention. That one is in like Halloween time, so maybe that one's safe.
Yeah.
There's another one, Anime LA. That's in January, and then Anime Impulse. That's in January as well, but we'll see. Yeah.
2 in January. I think I've heard of the Anime LA Anime or Anime LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you must live in the Los Angeles area?
I do, yep. I do.
Wow. So have you been to the Big Kahuna, San Diego Comic-Con?
No, that's like my white whale. I'm like, I try to get tickets. I do. I never get them. I'm just always so close. And
it's so big.
So huge. But it's like the dream to go. And I even want to just like ghost it. Just like go outside. Like I don't have to go in. I could just walk around. But now they've kind of like closed it off now. So it's like harder.
Yeah, they have a lot of outdoor exhibits now too. So yeah, they wrote those in. Years and years ago, I would have loved to have gone, but I'll be honest, like now, I think it's so big that I'm a little bit like, hey. My husband and I went to New York Comic Con a couple years ago, and that was great. That one I think was manageable. It was big, but I don't feel like it was San Diego big, so it was still pretty manageable.
Oh, I know, like my boyfriend, he used to live in New York, and so he's gone to that one a couple times, and I'm like, that's on my bucket list now because he's talked about it so much. I'm like, I have to go to that one at least once in my life.
Yeah, it was fun. What are some of the like really great cosplay experiences you've had at cons, maybe with kids or fans or other cosplayers? Like, what would be like your top moments?
I have to honestly just say, just the acceptance and the kids, but the acceptance, like, it's just, I don't know, like, I always, like, I've always been bullied in high school and stuff, and it's, yeah, and that's always kind of, like, broken me down a lot, so every time I go into, like, a large setting, I expect, like, at least something negative.
Right.
But it's just been overwhelmingly positive at cons, and just to, like, see, like, the kids and the parents share the same excitement when I'm in character, and it's just, I don't know, it just makes me always, like, so happy, and it makes me want to cry sometimes, because I'm just like, oh, you like me? I did it justice? Yay!
That's
and, like,
awesome.
Kids, they really believe I'm this character. Like, when I cosplay as Elsa, I'm not her skin tone, obviously, but the kids, they're just like, Elsa!
Oh, so cute. That's fantastic. I love hearing you say that because, you know, the horrible online world can get really nasty about plus size cosplayers, or if you're not cosplaying the right sex or right color or whatever. So I love that you've had such a great experience.
Honestly, it's just, it's been such a confidence builder, and I feel like when I go to cons, I've become more confident than outside of cons, actually.
That's fantastic.
I walk in the doors and I just see everyone dressed up, and I'm just like, oh, yes, my people, my brethren, and we're just taking pictures and just, like, we're just hyping each other up. We're like, I love this, I love this, I love this, you look amazing, you look amazing, no, thank you, and it's just, yeah, it's like the best.
Do you go to cons not expecting to see someone you know, and then you see people you know, and you're like, oh my god, oh, that's so funny.
Like, all of the time. The last con actually I went to, Anime LA, I actually saw a couple of my friends, like, for the whole 4-day weekend. Like, we just kept running into each other, like, constantly. And that was, like, always such a fun, it's like, hey you again, hey you again. And it's the absolute best, because it's like, you have that, like, friendship that, like, you're like, oh, I know you. Hi, hey, it's good seeing you again. And it's just, every day you're like, where are they? Where are they? I know I'm going to see you.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, another huge piece of cosplaying is photography. So do you take your own pictures? Do you have photography friends? Do you pay someone?
This is where I feel I have truly blossomed, because I started off with propping my phone up with, like, a bunch of, like, hairspray cans and stuff, and just, like, taking just mediocre pictures. And then I set up, like, my room to be, like, a cosplay room now. And so, like, on the other side, I have, like, kind of like curtains that I can, like, pull down and then have, like, a blank backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've gotten to the point where I've actually hired a photographer when I go to cons. And I mean, shout out to Haley. She's, like, an amazing photographer. And I've, like, gotten professional pictures done, which I honestly, I never thought that'd be something I'd ever get done, ever. Mm-hmm. And it really makes a difference.
I bet it's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun. And you get to, like, bond with more people, because it's like, the photographers, they love what you're doing too, and they want to make it shine. And it's the best. Like, it makes your world just bigger each time. And each photographer, like, you get to, like, learn different things about yourself too, and, like, you learn better poses, you learn what angles work for you, what lighting works, and it also makes, like, your home photography better too, because then it's like, I just bought, like, a ring light, never thought I'd own one of those.
And now you do.
Yes, and I'm just like, it opens your world.
Now, do you have trouble looking at the photos of yourself, or are you able to kind of disconnect and look at it objectively? Or has it gotten easier?
It's so easy. Like, once again, when I'm in cosplay, I think highly of myself because I'm a character that I adore. And it's just, I don't know, I find myself looking at cosplay pictures easier than I could look at, like, real photos of myself. And it's just, I love looking at my cosplay pictures, because it's just, I'm like, oh, I truly embodied, like, that character. Like, I was truly this person. Like, when I look at my Tiana pictures, I cry sometimes, because I'm just like, I'm actually a princess. Like, I'm pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. So you bought that Tiana dress then?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Oh,
I did. Angelsecret.com. Yes.
Angelsecret.com. Good to know.
Yes.
Who would you say are your favorite like 3 characters to cosplay? Your top 3.
I knew this question was gonna come too. I knew it. I really knew it, and I'm like, I'm not ready. Okay, first, of course, has to be Elsa, because I resonate with her so much. Second has to be Ariel, because that's like my first Disney princess I ever truly saw and like I fell in love with, and I resonated with her as well. Actually, Harley. Yeah, Harley has to be like my third.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's just I don't I love her because like all of her looks are always so different, and her backstory, you know, it's not the best, you know, it's a little, you know, the Joker and everything. I'm like, okay, I know, but just her herself, I just love how like wild she is, how she's like kind of just uninhibited and just
Didn't you love the Birds of Prey movie?
I bought it soon as it became available. Like,
yeah, me too.
Is just my favorite, my absolute favorite.
So good, and it killed. You know, it's funny. I wrote a little bit on some post somewhere because that movie really, for some reason, was not hyped.
It really wasn't.
And was kind of like dissed in the media, except that it might even, I haven't looked lately, but for months it was in the top 10 box office grosses for this year. I think it was like number 6. It had like an 85, 95 on tomato meter or whatever.
That was insane.
And I was like, what? Why are people dissing this? I really do think it's just the whole female thing.
Honestly, yeah.
I do think they were like, oh, we don't take you seriously. Meanwhile, hello, let's look at some of these male superhero movies.
Thank you.
Talk about not taken seriously. I thought it was so much fun, and I loved it.
It was amazing. I was in the movie theater when I saw it. I was truly like just screaming. I was like, yes! Just everything was just so iconic, and it was just, it made me proud and happy. And it's such a great movie. I love it. I always hype it up as much as I can, and I have all the cosplays from her movie because I'm just like, that deserves to be honored.
I loved the yellow diamond.
Yes, that's my favorite.
How do you decide who you're going to cosplay? I think that would be very difficult because wow, there's so many characters, you know what I mean? And I love certain. So how do you decide? And do you try to match them to your looks, or are you just like, I love that character, I'm going to cosplay them?
Honestly, this is kind of, it's like a two-parter, I guess. Like when I first started cosplaying, I always tried to match my look to the cosplayer or to the person I was going to cosplay. So I always tried to go with somebody that was a curvier girl or darker skin tone. And starting out in cosplay, I always did anime, and there's not that many people that look like me in anime, so that was always a tough, like, who should I do? And I don't know, at one point I just was like, you know what? Who cares?
Right.
So I just started just doing characters that I bonded with, or characters that I truly like saw my personality in. And that's when I was like, Harley Quinn, I love her. Like, she's definitely not my skin tone, she's definitely not my size, but I feel my personality is her. And so I just took it from there. And I have a cosplay app called Cosplanner. So anytime I saw a character, or I read a manga, or I watched an anime, or I saw a movie, or just anything where a character was like, I love that character, I need that character, I wrote their name down in the app, and I would later go through all the reference pictures and see if their cosplays were anything I could either make or I could buy. And if it was obtainable, I would do it. And I would usually plan it for the next con or something. But
cool.
Right now, I think I have over like 300 cosplay ideas in my app.
Sure, why not? It would be hard to pick.
It's so hard. And so now I'm at the point where I'm just like, if my friends, like right now, like some of my friends are actually going to do Sailor Moon, a Sailor Moon group. So that helped me pick, I want to do Sailor Jupiter. I've always loved her. She's been on my list forever. So I'm going to do Sailor Jupiter. And then another one of my groups are actually going to do, they're doing the She-Ra, yes. And so I was like, I've always wanted to do Catra. I'm going to do Catra. So that kind of helps me decide my characters that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah. Do you think that you would ever want to make this into a career, or do you want to keep it like just as your fun, passion, hobby?
Honestly, I've been hoping to maybe branch it into something more. I have a degree in like American Studies, so it's not set in stone on what I can do with it. So I've always loved pop culture, and I've always loved cosplay, and I've always loved costuming and creating. And I found that making props has been something I've been pretty awesome at. And I've always kind of wanted to branch into that world. So like prop making, costuming, or like at least like setting up or something in that realm would be like a dream job. And yeah, I've hopefully can branch this into that and like use cosplay as like my portfolio, so to speak.
Oh, sure. You know, there's some shops on Etsy that sell weapons and props and things for cosplay.
I've taken some tips on what to do and how to do it, and that's why I usually have like my friends like commission pieces for me, and I don't charge them mostly. I usually just charge for shipping, and I'm like, just post about it, just, make sure I can get reference pictures for it so, I can build a store or something later on. And I want to hone my skills first before I start charging people like $200, $300 and stuff.
Well, you could start with 20, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always feel like that's good.
Why do you think cosplay has kind of been booming in the last, I don't know, like 3 years? Like, why do you think more and more people, do you think it's the influence of Marvel movies like being so huge, or do you think it's just because, people are feeling more comfortable about it?
It's a little of all of that, actually. I feel it's more like, because for me, cosplay has been such a confidence boost, and I feel like in that time when it was like booming, we were kind of having more insecurity moments and like more just kind of like we want like either to escape or to find ourselves or something. And I feel cosplay was kind of an outlet to that. And then with that being said, the boost of like all of the Marvel and the Disney and everything coming out, I feel that kind of helped lead the way or kind of package cosplay better. And it was just a little bit of everything that just kind of accumulated to it being as big as it is. And there's like a couple of shows that were actually on the Sci-Fi Channel that I actually watched religiously. I think it was
one of them was a competition, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's like there's the competition one. There's the makeup, like the face off or and then the cosplay heroes like with Yaya Han. And those ones really kind of shined a light into cosplay and just kind of, I feel, captivated those of us that were really like looking for something to dive into. And it's just little things that just kind of packaged and I guess build up.
For everyone that's watching, I just want to let you know real quick, I'll link to everything that we talk about in the description below. So there'll be links to Robin's Instagram and some of the cons she talks about and the shows and all that good stuff. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting out cosplaying or wants to cosplay that you wish you would have known like 5 years ago?
Don't let anything stop you. That's like the first thing I really wish I had have known is just don't let yourself, don't let others, just push through, because the light at the end of the tunnel is glorious and amazing, and the bonds that you're going to build and the community you're going to get and just the fun you're going to have. That was just something I really wish like little me had known at the start, because I was always so hesitant, and there were so many things I admit I did miss out on because I was just like, oh no, I don't know. And it's just, I'm still kind of like that now, but when it comes to cosplay, I'm a lot more like, okay, I'll be there. Okay, yes, I got this, and it's just, I don't know, just don't let anything stop you. Like if you feel hesitant about it, just start little, start small. Like start with Harley. I always feel like Harley or any like character that's like a Marvel character or a DC character, like they're good stepping stones because they're still in regular clothes sometimes, and you could just kind of do like little things, like with like Superman or Supergirl. You could just wear a shirt with an S on it, you could wear like a blonde wig. You don't have to be on full like, face makeup, you don't have to do bald caps. Like you could just dip your toes into it, like wear like a Halloween cape, just something that it's just little things, and you'll just like, feel it.
Do you also do Disney bounding?
Yes, I do. Disney bounding, I feel I got into after cosplay, like my love of cosplay blossomed, and I feel if you are into Disney and you want to get into cosplay, Disney bound first. Because Disney bounding is the best way to really see if you really, really want to do cosplay.
It seems like it's a lot of fun.
It's like worlds of fun. Like going to the parks in a costume. It's not even a costume. It's just, it's your way of giving like a nod to a character. So like for Ariel, you could wear like a purple top and like a mermaid scale skirt, and you're Disney bounding, and it's just everyday clothes, but you're just tweaking it to look like the character's colors, or you're doing their color scheme, or you could wear like a little starfish in your hair, and it's like, I'm Ariel, and it's just those little things that just make you feel a little more special and dressed up at the parks. And
you so since you live in the LA area, do you go to Disneyland much?
Yes, I actually thanks to my boyfriend, we got a Disney pass. My very first year, I think we went to Disney every day, honestly. Yeah. Like we went every day, and if I had work or school, we would either go like the weekend, or we'd just like try to make a way to go like on a Friday or a day I was off or something. Like we went every single day. It's honestly the pass, it's amazing, and just going all the time, it's just, you never get bored of it. Like I don't go on rides, so I'm an anomaly. I don't like rides, I know.
That's all right.
Everybody's always like, you don't do rides, and I'm like, I like to eat food and I like to take pictures with characters. Like that's where it's at.
I just love sometimes, well, like I love going, to me this is what it's like. I love going to Las Vegas, and I don't gamble, but I love the spectacle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I love like being surrounded by Egyptian stuff, or by
that's it.
Yeah, so I think I totally get it. Like you would still have a blast even if you didn't ride.
Honestly, like there's so much at Disney to do. It's just, you don't need to do rides. Like you could just walk around, just sightsee, take pictures, and there's always things going on too. Like they have Lunar New Year, or they have the Food and Wine Festival, or they have like different Marvel things, and it's just it's always so fun. Yeah.
Do you ever do any Star Wars cosplay?
Yes, I've done, I did my Rey cosplay, which is like the Mer-Ray, where I combine Little Mermaid and Rey. I've done a couple of Disney bounds of Rey. I've done Kylo. I want to say, I just did actually C-3PO for May the 4th.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
with like the one offer glove as like his red arm.
Right, that was cute.
Yeah, mostly I've just stuck to just doing my crossovers with like Little Mermaid as Rey, and there's like my BB-8 as Flounder right there.
Aw, so cute.
Yeah, awesome. It's really fun.
Thank you so much for talking with me today, Robin. This has been a blast.
Yay!
And like I said, for everyone watching, you can just check for the links below to find all the stuff we've been talking about, including her Instagram. Be sure to go and follow Robin.
Thank you.